I thought that was really good.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. This is crazy that, like, I mean, sure, it's dramatized, but, like, that's a pretty true story.
Yeah.
Isn't that nuts?
Yeah, it's weird.
I'm gonna go, definitely I want to go up and read up on
Well,
it.
it's a book.
Yeah.
The Ron
Yeah, it must be some sort of memoir.
Stallworth, yeah.
I definitely want to go read up on the facts, too, because, like I said, I'm sure this is dramatized or whatever, but even so, like,
yeah,
it's wild.
Yeah.
It's funny because this, I feel how I thought I was going to feel coming out of Sorry to Bother You. Like, all the stuff I wanted out of that, I got out of this, so I'm pretty satisfied.
Yeah.
I really liked his, Ron's conflict in it, of having to kind of play both sides, not only, like, playing a cop and a Klansman, but also trying to be down with Patrice, too, and navigate that himself. I thought was really interesting. I really liked his character, and I thought the actor did a really good job.
Yeah, John David Washington.
Yeah. I didn't know he was related to Denzel. He's his son, you said?
Yeah.
Until you said something, but you can't not hear it in his voice when you know that.
Yeah, and I've been watching him for a while on Ballers, and I didn't realize that he was his son until a couple days ago.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, that makes sense. He did a good job. I liked his character a lot. Adam Driver. There's not something like everything I've seen him in. He's great.
Yeah.
He does such a good job.
He is really, really good.
Yeah.
I liked him a lot in this.
Yeah. Yeah. There was an interesting cast.
It was a weird cast.
Yeah. Because like you have those two who really drive it, and then there's like some smaller bit parts, like the guy from The Longest Yard.
Yeah, what the hell?
The backup quarterback.
He's never gonna not be that guy.
Yeah, I know. And then Topher Grace playing David Duke.
See, that's the dumbest thing I ever heard. But it worked for me.
Yeah.
Like, he's really good as him, I thought.
Yeah.
And he does a really good job. He's got a certain way of speaking, Duke does.
Yeah.
That Grace was able to kind of, do. But also, he just does really good, and he's done this in other things, too. He's an asshole.
Yeah.
But he's got something about him that's magnetic.
Yeah.
And that's what Duke has always been. So even when he's saying something hateful, he sounds nice.
Yep.
And he was really good at this. I liked him a lot.
I did too. Yeah, his like pace, the way he talks, and with like the methodical tone that he had, like it's pretty mesmerizing.
I think with him, the thing he doesn't sound crazy when he talks.
Yeah.
Because he's not yelling
very
or
even pace.
Yeah, it's just he's matter of fact. Like, I don't like black folks. This is why they're trying to take our country, and we need to get it back. He just totally matter of fact, which is interesting.
Because he knows the other people that are underneath him will do the crazy radical stuff. So he does it in a way that gets them all to buy into it.
Yep. I thought that the one really crazy Klansman, I didn't recognize him, but I thought he did a really good job.
Yeah.
Obviously, you hate his character, but I thought he did a good job of portraying it. The guy that constantly was making me laugh was the drunk.
the fat one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He would be standing still and just like have his mouth hanging open, so like you knew he was shit-faced.
Yeah.
Like the whole time, but he didn't. Other than one or two scenes, he didn't really have to go for it so much. He just was like the way he was standing just showed you that. I liked him.
The way he laughed too was like, just, like always like stupid.
Yeah. I really liked Patrice. I don't recognize that actress, but I liked her a lot. Corey Hawkins, who played Dr. Dre in Straight Outta Compton. I liked his bit part. He was only in for a little bit, but he was the Black Panther member giving a speech at the beginning. I really enjoyed that part.
Yeah.
I really liked him. Really, just this whole cast banged for me. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, such a weird cast, but it worked. Is that Steve Buscemi's brother, who was the other cop that was hanging out with Adam Driver?
I don't know anything about Steve Buscemi's brother.
He has a brother that's been in stuff, and the guy looked a lot like Steve Buscemi.
Maybe.
So I think it might have been him.
I liked him a lot too. He was funny.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the weird thing. It's like the movie's pretty funny.
Yeah, there's
like,
a lot of funny stuff in here.
Some good jokes, kind of sprinkled in.
What I think Spike Lee. So this is, I haven't seen every Spike Lee movie, but this is probably, other than Inside Man, probably the least Spike Lee movie I've seen. He's got sort of his isms, you know, like any director does, and this didn't have so many of those.
Yeah.
Except for I noticed one or two actors centered on the camera, looking right into the camera, delivering.
Yeah.
That's something Spike Lee does a lot, and I noticed it with the older black guy who was speaking at the end for their little rally that they had. I noticed it there, but other than that, I didn't notice a lot of the other thing was when they were talking about the blaxploitation movies and they would pop up on screen.
Yeah.
That is also kind of Spike Lee-ish. But other than that, I think it was really well. He didn't go so much into his natural Spike Lee joint. But what I think he does really well here is to give you the over-the-top, wacky characters, right, that are the Klan, and also deliver some comedy, but not take away from the seriousness of it all. Because that's the concern is, you show me all these goofy caricatures of a bunch of rednecks, and I don't take it seriously.
Yeah.
But I think that they did enough of both where I definitely did. Like even though there was some funny stuff in here, it didn't take away from me.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's just weird to think about now, because like all of this whole the whole thing that happened, this, you know, him on the phone, you know, John David Washington's character on the actual Stallworth on the phone, and then Flip, because that was him being in real life would not work at all today. Like, there's no chance. It's just weird to think about how like that simple idea happened, but it's actually a really creative idea. But it's just it's so like if it happened, it couldn't. There's no way. Like even the address thing.
Yeah.
I thought was like, okay, it's over.
Which I thought that and the other slip up he had where he said Dallas instead of El Paso.
Yeah.
Those are really good moments of tension. I thought where they played it up, and they didn't do it. They didn't overload you on the score at all during that. They just let you sit in that moment.
Yeah.
And I was tense as hell.
There's a long movie.
It was very long.
But it never felt too long to me. Like, but I just, even going in, I was like, where does this end?
Yeah.
You know, like when they started getting to the plots, like someone's got to die or whatever. But
kind of waiting for a climax the whole time. Yeah.
And so that was one thing I just was kind of thinking about. And then with it ending with like the whole thing that was happening just a year ago.
Yeah.
Like that was the actual footage. I was like, oh man.
Yeah, that really, in case you did forget that these are real people and real things that went on and do go on, it reminds you at the end. Yeah, it was cool. They did a really good job of putting you in the time. I thought that was really fun. Like they were even, when they were talking about OJ, it was kind of tongue in cheek, but I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I forgot we don't know anything about OJ yet.
Yeah, that was the other thing. I was like, when does this take place? Because they're talking about OJ.
There was a lot of really good dramatic irony in here where we know what happens in the future, but they don't, right? So, like, when he's talking, Stallworth is talking to his sergeant, I think, and he's like, oh, they would never elect a guy like that.
Yeah.
Or there's a couple times when people in crowds are yelling, like, make America great again.
Yeah.
America first.
There's definitely a lot of not so subtle jabs at the current political climate.
And I think that it was a lot. That stuff happens a lot in the stuff that we're watching lately, right? And I think that while it was still very clear to us here, I thought that it made sense in the context. It wasn't too in your face. I mean, like I said, there was no doubt about it, what he was trying to get across, but it didn't seem too cheesy to me, where it completely threw me off. But definitely you noticed those couple things. Right. Well, and then they just totally put him on at the end.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's when they did that. Yeah, it was an interesting transition from the end, from kind of them showing the crossbreeding thing and going straight to that. Kind of was like almost jarring, like because I think they even started it with like the like immediately it was like protests, like beatings and stuff. Whoa.
Yeah, it was, and that whole thing with the media covers and stuff at the end. That's a total Spike Lee thing too.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a weird. It's a strange bookend, but it puts a context on it that I think it's still a fine movie without that. But it really just kind of hammers you at the end with that. Yeah, I mean, it is long. There were a couple times when I was like, okay, let's get to something here. Let's move the plot forward. But I do think that it was pretty well paced. It was long, but it kind of trudged along. It was methodical. It wasn't a fast pace by any means.
Yeah.
There's not a ton of great action or anything like that.
No.
But it moves along. And I think there's a lot of. I mean, it's definitely super dialogue driven, and they get into some, a little bit of debate between different pairings of characters, and you hear different things. I think one of the things that's obviously will get lost in all of this is Adam Driver's character being Jewish, and his whole struggle with it too, because he's going through a lot of the same stuff as Stallworth is. So I thought that was really cool, because that's something I hadn't really even considered.
Right.
When I think about the KKK, I think about they hate black people. I don't
Yeah.
think about them
all the
hating
other
anybody
groups
else.
they hate. Yeah. Yeah, and it was nice that the villains got their comeuppance.
I laughed out loud when I realized what was about to happen.
Yeah, being right next to the car, and the dumb wife not being able to correctly lay out the plan. Yeah, that was funny.
And they stuck that douchebag cop at the end too. I liked that.
Yep. Yeah, I thought like, because she was helping the cops, like she was kind of over the whole against the cops thing. But she apparently wasn't still agreeing with the cops.
Yeah, and that's a tough. Their relationship is really interesting to me. And there's a whole big long debate about that, about police and black folks. But I thought they handled it pretty well, because what they do well is they give you every side of a lot of arguments and don't tell you exactly what they think the right answer is, other than the issue of being in the KKK.
Yeah,
but that's pretty clear. I think it's definitely like one of those black homework movies for sure.
Yeah.
But I think that a lot of folks will enjoy it too. Because even if you take away all of the like cultural significance and stuff like that on it, it still was just a really well made movie. I thought.
Yep.
Really well acted and put together, I thought.
Yeah.
So even just on a surface level, I thought it was pretty tight.
Yeah, it made its points, and like you said, good performances, funnier than I anticipated.
There were some good.
It's all around good.
I also love how at the beginning, I don't remember exactly what it said, but it was like, this is some real ass shit or something like it didn't say based on true events. It said, this is some real shit.
Yeah.
I bet you that guy still has his KKK card. That's a pretty cool
memento.
Yeah, memento or souvenir.